Hi, hello, good morning students. In the last class we have seen what is the software, what are all the types of software, and in this class we will move to the software development. The software development, it is the process which involves the number of steps like blueprint, analysis, software design, coding, testing and software development and maintenance. First we'll see what is the blueprint. Blueprint, it is like the planning. What are all the requirements are there, according to that the planning has to be done. Then in the next step, analysis. What are all the planning has done, we have to analyze whether the planning which have been done is correct or no. Then the next step is software design. It is the key phase which where the marking out of entire architecture and the creating the layout is done. Then the coding comes. It is the step which involves the transformation of design into code. Then the next step is testing and software development. Testing involves the number of steps whether the product meets the specifications or no. Software development is a beta process. Then the last but not the least is maintenance. It involves sales, services and support provided by the developers to the clients. We can understand this software development process. We can compare it with the construction of a house. See, if we want to construct a house of two bedroom, one kitchen, hall, 2 BHK, the planning has to be done first. How many rooms will be there, where the kitchen should be there, where the hall should be there, that has to be done. The planning has to be done. Then we'll think about whether the planning is correct or no. That is called the analysis. Then the design, the construction blueprint will be, the design has to be created, no, before constructing the house. The planning has to be done, no, the design, that is like the software design. And after designing the it has to be implemented with the where the hall and where the kitchen and where the bathroom should be there, no, according to that the implementation will be done. Then according to that one by one processes will be started. Then the last one is maintenance. Okay, then we'll move to firmware. We'll see what is the firmware. Firmware is nothing but the software. It is a permanent software which is programmed into non-volatile memory, that is ROM. Commonly it is used in personal computers, music players, microcontrollers, etc. Today almost all electric devices contains the firmwares in it. Then we'll move to middleware. Middleware is also a software which acts as a bridge between the operating system and the applications running on it. See here we have I have created a small diagram of, here is the machine, here is the user. In between the machine and the user, system software and application softwares are there. Okay, and the middleware is somewhere in the between the system software and the application software. Next we'll move to what is operating system. Operating system, it works as the mediator between the machine, application software and the user. Okay, see here, operating system is nothing but the system software. Whenever it acts as a mediator between the man and the machine. Then it is the program which coordinates all the computer resources. Means whenever the user wants the printer, it will provide the printer. Whenever the user wants the keyboard, mouse, whatever the devices are required, according to that it will provide all the resources. Then the operating system is responsible for the security, for the authentication. So authentication, the operating system is required. Then what are all the popular operating systems are MS DOS. DOS is a single user operating system. Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows 2000, Windows Vista, Windows 7 are the multi-user operating systems. Then what are all the functions of operating systems? There are actually 4 types of functions: memory management, process management, device management, file management. In what is memory management? Is allocating and deallocating the memory to the program, allocating whenever the job is required memory, then after completion of job, deallocating the memory. Then comes processor management. Whenever the processor is required for the particular job, providing the processor, and after completion of job, deallocating the processor. Then device management. Whenever wherever devices are required for the job, like for to play the music, speakers are necessary. To take out the printout, the printer is necessary. Whenever the devices are required, allocating the devices, and after completion of the job, deallocating the resources, devices. File management. Whenever whichever the files are required for the job, allocating the files, and after completion of the job, deallocating it. This is done by the operating systems. Okay, then we'll see what are all the types of the operating system. The first one is real-time operating system. The real-time operating system is a operating system which is capable of processing the data so quickly that the results are instantly available, quickly whenever we need. See, if we want through the internet, if we are requesting a video like a song video, instantly we are getting it through the internet now. That is means real-time operating system. Then next we'll move to batch operating system. In the batch operating system, what happens is there will be the number of jobs which has to be arranged in a queue, stack queue, one by one, and after completing all the jobs, arranging all the jobs, the unit of the job has to be entered in the system like your input. After getting all the jobs like input, then only process will be start. See here, this is the first job, second job, third job, fourth job, fifth job. All the jobs are arranged. All the jobs are arranged one by one. First, then all the jobs are entered into the system through the input devices. After getting all the jobs, then only the process will be starting. This is called the batch operating system. Here what happens, the jobs are arranged in the batches, each batches, and according to each batch the process will be done. Then we'll move to multi-programming operating system. More than one program reside in the main memory. Here what happens is all the process jobs are running in the main memory only. Here in this operating system, more than one job is running in the main memory. Next comes the time sharing operating system. Here the processor time is divided into number of units, and each unit is called as the time slices, and each time slice is shared into, and these time slices are shared into number of users to provide the multiple access. Okay, then we'll move to multitasking operating system. It allows more than one program to run concurrently. That means it allows more than one program. It allows more than one program run into the main memory. That is concurrently. That took concurrently at the same time, means at the same instant or at the same time. Single tasking operating system. The next one is single tasking operating system. The one user can efficiently do one thing at the same time. Here the one user can done only one job efficiently at the same time. The Palm operating system is the example. Then multi-threading operating system. Multi-threading is similar to the multitasking. Then multi-processing operating system. Two or more CPUs in the single computer, means CPU, number of CPUs, number of processor in the same computer. Multi-user operating system. Multi-user, it allows access by the multiple users, number of users accessing at the same time. Here it completes the software unit. I will provide you the question answers. Go through the question answers, go through the notes. If you guys have any doubts, any queries, you can contact me. Thank you.